Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So in today's video we are going to be talking about the match between Barcelona and Elche. Now before I do get into that pre-match preview, I do want to talk about one specific player, a player that has been talked about many times through the media but has not been seen on the field in a very long time, and that player is the Brazilian Felipe Coutinho. Many have asked what's going on with Felipe Coutinho, when could we expect him to come back, what are the official updates of Felipe Coutinho, and we do have some breaking news regarding this player, and it says here, according to Roger Torreo, Felipe Coutinho has suffered a setback in his injury. His time off was initially 3 months, but the player still suffers from a swollen knee and could be out for a bit longer, which basically means that Felipe Coutinho could be making his first appearance ever since that injury did occur by the end of April. He was expected to come back in early April of 2021, but now that we're hearing this report stating that Felipe Coutinho has suffered a minor setback, we could be seeing him by mid-April or by the end of April. Now, there has been many debates going on when we are talking about Felipe Coutinho, stating that this is a great thing, that Felipe Coutinho is not going to be playing for Barcelona anymore because he just can't be that exact same player like he was in Liverpool. This could also be a great thing because Barcelona does not have to pay that 5 million euro fee towards Liverpool when Felipe Coutinho does make a specific amount of appearances with Barcelona, which makes sense, right? Those are very well debates on why Coutinho should not be playing for Barcelona, but there are also cons within this situation, like the fact that he's not going to be playing for Barcelona. His market value is going to be dropping, and we have discussed, and many have discussed, about what could be the future of Felipe Coutinho with Barcelona. And if Barcelona do come to a conclusion that Felipe Coutinho should part ways with this club and he should be playing elsewhere, like in the Premier League or in the Italian league or some other team in the Spanish league, his market value is going to be extremely low, and Barcelona do want to get the most value from this player as much as possible, and the only way and the best way you could do that would be to play that player and give him those minutes. So there is good and there is bad, but one does not outweigh the other, and I do think that in the end, the fact that we cannot see Coutinho play on the field is very sad news, because he is a player that wants to play football, and I also do want to see this player happy once again on the pitch, and hopefully he does come back as soon as possible, and hopefully when he does come back again wearing the Barcelona shirt, he can smile again. But that's going to be your quick report regarding Felipe Coutinho. He is going to be coming back maybe by the end of April, most likely. And by that time, we will be discussing on how we could fit Felipe Coutinho within the starting 11 for the remainder of the season. Now going into the pre-match preview between Barcelona and Elche. So this is going to be a game where Barcelona is going to be playing at home. They will be at the Camp Nou. This is going to be a match where, like in every game, Barcelona is going to be expected to win. But over the past two results, seeing the amount of games Barcelona have let down at the Camp Nou, there is a great feeling that Elche could come into the Camp Nou and actually give a great fight towards FC Barcelona. And let's not even look at the past two games that did occur in the past 6 days. Let's examine the overall season. It is safe to say that Barcelona under Ronald Koeman have not found themselves yet. There is no consistent way of playing up against oppositions. We usually do tend to see this Barcelona team try to adapt to the opposition and try to find a way to score these goals. Barcelona right now just do not have a specific style of play, and when you do not have a specific style of play, that will harm you throughout the rest of the season. Now looking at the table within La Liga right now, Barcelona is currently in 4th place. They are tied in games with Sevilla and Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid is the only team that does have one game in hand. We can see that Barcelona is 1 point behind Sevilla and are 8 points below Atletico Madrid. Barcelona do have massive amounts of work to do in order to reach that first place, and there's no way better to do that than to start off with baby steps, and those baby steps need to start off with Barcelona winning up against a team like Elche. Barcelona has to come out with 3 points in tomorrow's night's match. The uplift for these players is very much needed, and if you were to look at the pictures and the videos that Barcelona's website has just put out, you can see that the players are doing much better. You look at the first training session that they had after the match against PSG, there were some sad faces. The atmosphere did not look well. The energy looked very low. But if you were to look at the videos and pictures of today that did come out a couple of hours ago, you can see that the spirits are much higher. Now, what we are mainly going to be focusing on in today's video is going to be about the press conference that Ronald Koeman did have a couple of hours ago. And I'm going to be revolving Ronald Koeman's conference on Lenglet's form, Ronald Araujo's form, and the attack of FC Barcelona. Those are going to be the main topics we are going to be discussing for a good portion of this video. And starting with Ronald Araujo. Ronald Koeman did say this: Araujo is getting better, but he won't be there for tomorrow. We'll see how he is next week. Which basically confirms that we will not see Ronald Araujo in tomorrow's night's match. Araujo is yet to be ready to face against Elche, and that we could see him finally make his debut back from this injury up against Sevilla, a team where we are going to be needing the best players within our squad to play on the field. And what's so staggering about the statistics about Ronald Araujo is the fact that before Araujo did encounter this injury, Barcelona were actually in a position where we were competing for many titles. Everything did seem possible for Barcelona to win their very first trophy after 19 months. But now that we do stand here today, ever since that injury coming from Ronald Araujo, the image of Barcelona does look completely different. The outcome of how this season could turn out to has made a full 360, because now Barcelona does not even look like they're going to even win one title within this season. And really take note of that, right? Because this really goes to show that Ronald Araujo is a great and very important player for Ronald Koeman's Barcelona. And I know that Koeman's probably in the club thinking, I can't wait to have Ronald Araujo back within the squad list. And then I want to move towards Lenglet. So in the past 6 to 7 days, Lenglet has been completely harassed outside the Camp Nou from the fans and has been threatened by many people in social media. The main reason why he is getting this type of treatment, it is because of his past individual mistakes that he has made. He has put out a poor performance up against PSG and has made a great mistake against Cadiz that did lead towards Barcelona losing 4-1 against PSG and losing a total of 2 to 3 points up against Cadiz. And overall, it has just been a very bad 6 to 7 days for the Frenchman. And Koeman did have to say some things about Lenglet within the pre-match press conference, and he did say this: I spoke to Lenglet this morning. He's a great professional and he takes everything very personal. But as I said, we also made a lot of mistakes in the attack. We could have made a second goal, and with a 2-0 lead, such a play is not so decisive, which basically means that Koeman is aware of the type of player Lenglet is. With the amount of consistent mistakes he has made in the past couple of games, he knows that Lenglet's confidence has gone down a spiral, and Koeman is going to be wanting to fix that because he wants to inform the world that it is not just the player's fault. He wants to protect Lenglet. Now, Koeman continued to talk about Lenglet and if he could be playing in tomorrow's night's match, and this is what he said: these are decisions that have to be made as a coach. A player has to be convinced, show confidence in himself, and it also depends on the physical condition of the player, not only of Lenglet, but for everyone. And in the end, this is basically almost 100% confirming that Ronald Koeman may not be counting on Lenglet in tomorrow's night's match. Now, one of the questions that I do want to answer is, does Lenglet have to be fully blamed on what has been going on in the past 2 or 3 matches? And here's the thing: I think that when it comes to the specific play that Lenglet has done up against Cadiz in that box, yes, that happened because of Lenglet. It was because of him. That was his fault. But if you were to talk about the overall game between Cadiz and Barcelona, seeing how many chances we have created and not converting them into goals, this is going to be considered as the team's fault, not just specifically Lenglet. Because one of the biggest problems that Ronald Koeman has encountered is that his team is very good at creating chances but cannot convert them into goals when you really do need them to in these high-stake games. And there is an interesting statistic that has came out stating that in Barcelona's last 9 games at the Camp Nou, they have registered only one 2+ goal margin win. The last season with such a poor home run was back in 1995 and 1996. And Koeman has also backed this, stating that the problem is not that we don't create opportunities, it's about asking the players in the attack for more effectiveness. If you score another goal to make it 2-0, you don't end up drawing. We lack effectiveness. The percentage is low for a team like Barcelona. We know there have been games where we have made individual mistakes, but I don't think it's fair to focus on just one player or a particular defender. We have also failed in effectiveness, and that is going to be the biggest problem Koeman is going to have to be fixing in this Barcelona squad. We have gone through formation problems, we have gone through who's going to be starting in the starting 11 problems. Now we have to fix the problem of how can we be effective as much as possible around the box. How can we become a team to score as many goals as much as possible per 90 minutes. Because let me tell you, if you want to reduce defensive mistakes in football, one of the greatest solutions towards doing that is for having the attack to actually put the game away very early in those first 15 to 30 minutes, something that Barcelona historically have done very well, but in this season they struggle to do that. And this is why I'm always going to continue to say, this is why Ronald Koeman needs to start thinking about this Barcelona team needs to play like they used to play a few years ago, which is to play that football where you want to win the ball as soon as possible at the top of the field. Winning the ball from your front line should be something that has to be absolutely prioritized in this season. This is something that Pep Guardiola's Barcelona and Luis Enrique's Barcelona have done tremendously well, is to pressure to the point where you are going to be winning the ball from the front three that you do play, and not be a team that wins the ball from your defensive line. Because the only thing that Ronald Koeman has shown is that this is going to be a Barcelona team that is going to allow the opposition to play, and we're just going to form a 4-4-2, try to regain possession in our own half and then go back into the counter attack. That is a great solution towards many clubs. It could work out for other players out there in Europe, but not for FC Barcelona. That is not the way Barcelona should be playing. And so now we're going to head towards our predicted starting 11. What could Ronald Koeman place on the field that can win the ball up front, that can clean up the mess within the midfield and minimize the mistakes within our defensive line? So here is going to be the starting 11 we should expect to see. We could see Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal. Our defensive line is going to be Jordi Alba as the left back, Samuel Umtiti and Piqué as the center back duo, Serginho Dest as the right back, Busquets as the central defensive midfielder, and then have our interiors continue to be Frenkie de Jong and Pedri. Our front three, we should expect to see Trincao start as a right winger, Messi become the center forward, and Antoine Griezmann become the left winger for Barcelona up against Elche. And the substitutions that we should expect to see later in the match is for Dembele to come in for Trincao, Mingueza coming in for either Samuel Umtiti or Gerard Piqué, and the bright Spanish star Riqui Puig coming in for Sergio Busquets. I do believe that with this lineup here, it can get the job done. Trincao is a player that I do want to see more and more as we progress through this season. Trincao has shown that he has gained his confidence back, and I do want to see Trincao have a great game up against Elche. And with Riqui Puig replacing Sergio Busquets, I do want to see Frenkie de Jong drop into the central defensive midfield role, and then have the midfield between de Jong, Pedri, and Riqui Puig, a midfield that many have glorified to see within this Barcelona team. But that's going to be it for today's Barcelona Daily News. Let me know what's going to be your predicted starting 11 and your predicted scoreline up against Elche. It's going to be a very exciting match. We should expect Barcelona to win, and hopefully tomorrow night we can get the 3 points. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.